Guys, here we go. It's the Megan Show. It's the Megan Show. It's the Megan Show. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. We're going to talk about our girl. Now, I do want to start off with this. I just did a video. It cuts off. I do apologize, but I will put in the comments, video shuts off. Okay? So you guys won't be like, what happened? Because kisses to my new subscribers, kisses to all my subscribers. Listen, tell everybody about me, okay? Hit like, share, and comment. I get that a lot, and I am just so grateful to my subscribers for all that you do. All that you do. I know the support is there. Okay. I want to let you guys listen to this video. This video to me encompasses just a little bit of what Americans are seeing as far as Meghan and Harry. If you haven't noticed lately, with all the roasts, with them being on the Golden Globe Awards, with her being called a loser, her being called a hypocrite, her being called a lazy grifter, these things are not good to be called. You don't want to be called someone that's lazy in Hollywood and listen, you're making money for no reason just because you married a prince. Or, your boss is calling you out, calling you effing grifters. Or how about this? How about your community calling you a loser and a hypocrite? You can't tell me. And remember when Meghan was trying to lie and say that we didn't have any tabloids over here in the United States? Well, she's in them. She's in those tabloids about being a grifter, about being a loser. She's everywhere. And how is she feeling now? Because when she was over there acting like the press was about to kill her, she was over there, she had to get out of there. Now, how does she feel about the press? Because I don't remember the UK getting on stage calling her a lazy person, saying that she was working for a company and they were paying her for free. That pretty much the CEO of Netflix is over there looking really shady, and he just looks like he really is paying them to do nothing. And people are hearing it and listening to that. And so the Americans are speaking out and are speaking up. And there's no filter. There's no filter for that. No one's saying, ooh, don't say that about Meghan. Or, ooh, we can't get up and do that. You don't see the UK doing that. You don't see comedians in the United Kingdom getting up, joking about, I haven't seen anything, joking about Meghan and Harry and how they're a loser, how they're hypocrites, how Meghan hit the light skin lottery, how they're on this privacy tour, how Meghan doesn't have a soul. You can go on and on. The backlash is incredible. And I don't know about her, but I don't want to be called any of those names. And if I was being called that, I would try to fix it. But she can't, because she doesn't know how, because she's selfish. Selfish, self-centered, all of that. Let's get to it. I've been in here a while. I did 3 videos. This is the 3rd. I hear somebody in the background. So let's go.
Can we talk about the royals here in the UK? And it would seem that the two living in California, Harry and Meghan, are a laughingstock. The Golden Globes, many jokes at their expense.
Indeed. They say that in 1992, Mark, Queen Elizabeth experienced an annus horribilis, and I believe that 2023 is the Sussex's annus horribilis, and it looks to continue on with the recent broadcast of the Golden Globes.
Indeed, it seems that their willingness to share every minute detail about their lives and play the role of victims is subject to the law of diminishing returns. It seems like the US public and some of the broadcasting giants, including Spotify, have lost interest.
Ooh.
Quite so, Mark. The Sussexes have had just failure after failure and setback after
Failure after failure. The Sussexes has had failure after failure. Now, Meghan wants us to think that it wasn't her is the reason why everything was falling apart. She would say that it was Spotify's fault for not helping her out and giving her guidance. And she also said that they broke up on mutual terms. No, you were fired. You were fired. It was a failure. Then they realized, oops, we didn't pay this person all this money for us, and then we got to lay people off because we didn't invested in this. Yeah, you invested in the Duchess of Sussex. And you should have read Tom Bauer's book. He told you that they were grifters and that they ain't gonna do nothing. They talked about how difficult Meghan is. She's difficult. Duchess, difficult. Wherever she goes, she leaves a trail of residue, residue of just despicableness. Okay, despicableness. Meaning, when she was in the royal castle, she mistreated those courtiers and was bullying those people. I believe she bullied Tyler Perry's staff. Word on the street. And then she can't keep an employee to save her life. The revolving door. Listen, soon and very soon, Archie Well is going to shut down. Shut it down. And I'm not clapping for it. I'm just, dancing to it. Shut it down. No, it's going to be shut down because she ain't going to be able to pay the employees because ain't no money coming in and ain't no donations coming in. And she's going to have to take that $8 million that's sitting over there in the bank that she lied and said that she got since she ain't giving any money out. She's going to have to put that on her expenses. But Archie Well is coming down soon and very, very soon because if you don't have any money coming in, you got to cut back on expenses. And Archie Well may be one of, I don't know. They may last. I don't know. We'll see. Fruit. So, failure. Failure. Failure after failure after failure. Oprah was a failure. Pearl was a failure. Netflix was a failure. Spotify was a failure. Okay? The docuseries, well, I know I already said that. The Spare was a failure. Endgame was a failure. Everything she touches is failure. It's a failure. She fails to be able to rise to make an impact on her brand and on what she needs to do. She has been trying so hard these last couple of months to make a difference. But she is her own worst enemy. She is her own worst enemy because she the one came out with the Endgame and leaked those names in a book. That was Meghan's doing. And then they try to pretend like they didn't have nothing to do with it. And they didn't pretend like they didn't have nothing to do with it because she didn't come out with a statement. She didn't say anything. She didn't deny it. She agreed to it. And she's going to constantly do that. Come on, Mama. Come here. He doesn't want to be next to me. He does and he don't. Hold on. He's getting up there in age. Yes, he is. He loves him some Carol. Yeah, she totally is a failure. Let's go back just a tad.
Interest.
Quite so, Mark. The Sussexes have had just failure after failure and setback after setback. And
Setback after setback. Getting that phone call WME, we already know, and Netflix is too. Setback after setback. That's it.
Right from the beginning, their first failure, of course, was that they failed to.
Their first failure, I'll tell you what their first failure was in my book, was Mexit. After Mexit, it was Oprah. And then downhill from there. She set the tone about who she was and what she was about on the Oprah show. Because when they did their when Harry and Meghan did their interview for their engagement interview, that was all fake. She told us that was fake. That's not really what you see there was fake. Now she's unfiltered. Remember when she sat on the couch on Spotify and crossed her legs and told us that she was going to get ready and just be unfiltered. Just talk. Just tell you exactly who she was. And we still don't know. We have formed our own opinion. And the person that she portrayed herself to be, we don't know that person. We don't. We don't know who Meghan is. And Meghan don't know who she is. She is not grounded in herself. She doesn't know who she is. Because if you know who you are, you wouldn't be running around with these blankless projects that trying to get them off the ground because now you have a new title. And so since you have a new title, you think that you're going to triumphant, be this big person now that you have gotten this title. But we found out something about you, her. I don't want to talk to her. We have found out something about her through the Oprah interview, that there's something very sinister about who she is as a person. And no one can relate to her because I don't know of any princess that would get on national TV and talk about everybody in such a negative way to the point where it ruined your entire brand. Her brand was infected by the Oprah show and Mexit. Everything else was just icing on the cake. That's it. And so no one can relate to her. She's got a whole bunch of yes people around her. And then those that can't relate to her just look confused like myself. We're like, Because you can't tell me that the people that she's not hanging around, she's not talking about herself, talking about her in-laws, and trying to convince people that there's some rotten people. While they over there having a dignified front, you can see the family coming together as a tight knit, like everybody is working together to make it successful, except for these two in Montecito. But they want us to know that they were mistreated. All I see is you mistreating everybody else. So it's hard for me to see that Meghan is being mistreated by anyone when she's doing the mistreating. She's mistreating everyone. She's the one that's blasting people on national TV and blaming and pointing the fingers and lying about 2-hour car chases and stuff like that. That's her. And then we're sitting back like, what? Huh? Even the latest debacle, the Endgame, O.B. Scobie is running around looking lost and lonely. I heard that they're doing an investigation. I heard that on, I think, Sue Smith's channel, that they are going to do an investigation. Or maybe that was something else. It's a lot up there. Okay.
To harm the monarchy and the royal. Failure after failure and setback after setback.
Failure after failure, setback after setback, as they attack the monarchy. Something that Americans love. We love it. We got up in the middle of the night and watched her wedding. And we also watched Catherine's. I remember where I was when I watched Catherine's video. I used to live in Carrollton in an apartment when me and my husband had just kind of met. And I had just moved in. We were getting to know we were in love when I moved in. And then I remember me in the living room watching it, Catherine's wedding, and just being in just beautiful disbelief. And I remember watching Meghan's wedding, and hers was it was beautiful because the queen does everything beautiful. But everything after that became weird because of Meghan. We instantly gave Meghan the opportunity to be this great, wonderful woman. She was instantly loved because we loved her husband. Harry was this great person that we loved Harry. We thought he was an eligible bachelor. And so when he met Meghan, we instantly fell in love with her, thinking that, oh, okay, then they're going to make something great together. No, that's not what happened at all. And so, but she's like, and I've said this before, but my point is that we gave her what she needed to be successful. We gave her the love and the support and the everything. I did. I wasn't talking about Meghan like I'm talking about her now. No, we gave her that space to be great and, rich with money and fame and everything that she could possibly ever want. We gave it to her. We celebrated her in the streets and at home. When I say streets, I see UK coming out with the flags and seeing her come, down the way with her mom in the car, about to get out the car. And King Charles, the one she called racist, was going to walk her down the aisle. Oh, shame on you. Shame on you. You get the wedding of a lifetime, not of your dreams, because it's not heard of. 30 million pound wedding, please. Huh? Now, I don't know. But in my vocabulary, no, that ain't how it rolls over here. You had a 30 million pound wedding. You had your husband's father walk you down the aisle. The King of England walked you down the aisle, and you turned around and called him racist. I just believe that if he was racist, that he wouldn't have walked her down the aisle. He wouldn't have accepted her as one of his own. She stood by him at events, at different outings. She went to his birthday party, the garden party. Like, she was in. How do you get in with the most prestigious, beautiful, heartfelt family that opened the door for her? Just like the Giant Slayer says, how can you trash the thing that made you relevant? I don't get it. She thinks it's okay. This is what I think. I think she thinks it's okay since Harry okays it. And since now that she's gotten Harry on board, everything is okay. But Harry, I saw HG Tudor. On his intro, you see Meghan grabbing Harry's arm and holding it really tight and looking at him like, I dare you. I dare you to move your arm. I dare you to move it. Go just watch the intro, how she grabs his arm and looks straight ahead like, I can't believe that she treats him like she's his mother. Like, give me your arm. I told you to give me your arm and keep it right here in front of me. And if you don't, I'm going to pinch you. She's always walking in front of him. He's always walking in back, which tells me that he's lost some of his manhood. He's lost some of his spark, the thing that made him an eligible bachelor before she came along and just, I gotta go on, guys. Let's move on. I hope you like this video. If you do, go ahead and hit like, share, and comment. please leave a comment. Even if you don't hit like, leave a comment. Just say, hey, where you from? What's going on? It only takes a second.
And
I want him to say it without
It
me
seems
interrupting.
that their willingness to share every minute detail about their lives and play the role of victims is subject to the law of diminishing returns. It seems like the US public and some of the broadcasting giants, including Spotify, have lost interest.
Quite so, Mark. The Sussexes have had just 2023.
Harry and Meghan are a laughing stock. The Golden Globes,
Laughing.
many jokes
I
at
don't
their
want people
expense.
laughing at me.
Indeed. They say that in 1992, Mark, Queen Elizabeth experienced an annus horribilis, and I believe that 2023 is the Sussexes' annus horribilis, and it looks to continue
Bad year. I'm assuming
on
that
with
means a bad year.
the recent broadcast of the Golden Globes.
Indeed,
The recent broadcast of the Golden Globes. Americans see it. At first they didn't. I know they didn't. That's why I formed my channel. And I was like, what the heck? We are not going to sit here and continue to, okay, this is okay, what she does. Because I respect the royal family. I respect the culture. I respect everything about it. And I was just like, wow. And for me to be a fan of hers at first and then turn around and say, wait a minute now. Girl. I mean, the whole disrespect of the queen. The disrespect of their entire family. But after I open the door for you and let you in, genuinely trust you into my home, and then you come in my home and you disrespect it. That's what Meghan does. She comes in people's home and she disrespects it. But if she needs something from you, she'll be your friend and act like, oh, she'll play the game. Okay? The manipulation game. And then when she gets through using you up, she's going to throw you out. Like she did her father, like she did the king, like she did Catherine, William. Who else did she do this to? Millie, Harry's friends, her Samantha, her everyone. How can you be in conflict with everyone, with every family member? Now, she would be believable. This is bad. Harry went and got the wrong woman. Basically, you're in, and you and your sister are going to court, and the judge has approved that you got to give her some information. It's time for discovery. You're in conflict with everyone that you either knew or they once loved you, and probably still love her, probably don't understand her. And to the point where she's living in this bubble, this celebrity highlight bubble. And all she's trying to do is figure out what's best for Meghan. And so she has no one to confide in but her mother. And she's not confiding in her mother. She's telling her mother what to do. And her mother's like, okay. And so who is going to be that voice of reason? Who's gonna be that voice and say, no, you shouldn't do that? Because I need that every now and then. And if I don't get that, I start doing it to myself. I start saying, wait a minute, that ain't right, Tisha. You need to do better. You need to do better. Like even with the potty training, I'm like, you got to do better. Like you're the mom. You got to do potty time. Like pick a time that you do it every day and do it, But like I tell my husband, it's on us to teach her to make sure. So it reflects on us. But she will learn it. She'll do it in her time and stuff like that. But that's me taking inventory of myself, not Meghan. She doesn't feel like she needs correcting. She's perfect. And if she does feel like she needs correcting, she's going to double down on the things that she just, it is what it is. I'm going to make it be. Just like the 2-hour car chase. She's going to make us see something that we know that's not there. We know there wasn't any 2-hour car chase, but she tells us that it really was. That's what it felt like. No, you didn't even say it felt like that. You just said it did. I don't see it getting better for them because of who's in charge. As long as Meghan's in charge, as long as if she doesn't allow Harry to take control or try to fix any of this. Harry doesn't have a voice, though. You know that he doesn't have a say. Let's continue.
Seems that their willingness to share every minute detail about their lives and play the role of victims is subject to the law of diminishing returns. It seems like the US public and some of the broadcasting giants, including Spotify, have lost interest.
Has lost interest. No, they don't want their brand to be put in a situation where they have to resurrect it because they put a product like Meghan on their brand and then it fails. Because you have to have friends and fans, and she doesn't have that anymore because she's not liked because of who she is. You can't tell me that everybody is the villain and Meghan's this perfect person. Like she does everything right. Like, come on, are we serious? Why is it so much gloom and negativity and drama in her life? No, she's telling a story. Let's move on.
Quite so, Mark. The Sussexes have had just failure after failure and setback after setback. And right from the beginning, their first failure, of course, was that they failed to harm the monarchy and the royal family. But you see, Americans have no appetite for what the Sussexes are selling, because while initially they were received with a great...
We do not have an appetite for what they are selling. We're not in love with the fact that she attacked the family. It did something. It hurt her brand because we like the royals. We like them. We may not have it over here, but that doesn't mean that we don't respect it. And so she assumed that we would be on her side. We would be on Meghan's side on this. And so she felt like it would be okay to come out and trash everyone. And the way she tells the story lets you know already that it's someone else's fault. They did this to me. And Americans are calling it just what UK is calling it, the whine-a-thon. A whan, a whan, a whan. And we see the truth. And now we're like, ooh. And so even with the Endgame, if you've been watching her, then you are up with the story. And you know that there was a book that came out and named 2 people. But a real sister-in-law, Meghan, to Catherine, and I'm just making reference because she likes to bring up how Catherine wasn't there for her. But let me explain how she decides to treat her. A real sister-in-law, I forgot what I was going to say. Shoot. God, sorry. I went there. No. Because I can't get what sister-in-law would treat Meghan. Why would you treat your sister-in-law the way you've been treating her and think it's okay to treat her that way? And then decided, you know what? I'm going to really mess with her during Christmas time. I'm going to name her as one of the people. And then people start to think like, wait a minute, this ain't even adding up. This ain't even making sense. And so there goes the lies. I know, I forgot what I was going to say. It's okay. Oh. Hey guys, I gotta get ready to go soon. I've been in here a while. Let's continue.
Failure after failure and setback after setback. And right from the beginning, their first failure, of course, was that they failed to harm the monarchy and the royal family. But you see, Americans have no appetite for what the Sussexes are selling, because while initially they were received with a great deal of interest.
I was done during Mexit. When Mexit happened, I no longer had respect for her. Actually, it was before that. But then I started watching. When she said something about, oh, no one said I was doing okay, that's when I started paying attention. Before then, I wasn't paying this much attention. But I was like, oh, she's doing great. Wow, what a great couple, Harry and Meghan. But then when she opened her mouth and said, no one asked me, was I okay? I said, honey, what the hell is she talking about? Ain't nobody asked her, is she okay? She just got married. What is she talking about? I said, uh-oh, here we go. I said, here we go. She is not talking. She's talking about the royal family. I said, she is talking about her father-in-law, William and Catherine and the Queen. I said, she is finna start some mess. And whew, isn't it been a ride? And in the beginning, you were just like, wow, how could she? And then you got a little frustrated with her. But no one, we don't hate her over here. Just, I'm saying frustrated. And then you think, oh, wait. You're still trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. And then all doubt leaves out when you start realizing who she really is. And you start hearing people talk about her and you're like, what? And then it's a mess. Let's move on. Let's go.
Americans, like Brits, don't have patience for negativity, for victimhood.
We don't have patience for negativity and whining and drama. We don't. I got a 3-year-old at the age of 50-something, and my hormones is jacked up. Thank God. I'm doing good, and I'm not, my mind, my mental, your mental has to be ready. You do. Because you don't, you be like, whoa. But I am just so blessed. Thank you. And so, I don't know what I'm going into. I didn't change the subject. What I was trying to say is that she's whining. Well, I got a 3-year-old. I'm trying to take care of the house, make sure I cook, clean, and do all of that. And then also take care of the bills and everything else. And then also look for a job. And also spend time with you guys. And that's not a lot. But what I'm saying is that they're complaining about stupid stuff. And then we're looking at them like, really? Like we saw all of this and then you, Okay, that was a chat. That was an actual real chit chat with you guys. No, we don't have an appetite for this. We don't have an appetite for her to just continue on this crusade, on this journey, on this vendetta, on this whatever she thought she needed to be on, to just decimate or trash or just treat people that invited her in, and then all of a sudden everything goes crazy. Look at this. Listen to what we're talking about today. They got roasted on the Golden Globe Award. My sister could not believe it. She was shocked. She was like, what? I said, that's how bad it's gotten. This gentleman is an American. I am telling you about this on an American perspective. Okay?
Narratives from the beginning. Their first failure, of course, was that they failed to harm the monarchy and the royal family. But you see, Americans have no appetite for what the Sussexes are selling, because while initially they were received with a great deal of interest, Americans, like Brits, don't have patience for negativity, for victimhood narratives, for trashing one.
Let me say that, like Great Britain, we don't have the appetite either for her over here doing what she's doing. No. And since she's over here doing what she's doing, she's in the situation that she's in. And it's not good. I told my sister I'm this close. I'm feeling sorry for her. But how hard is it?
Good narratives for received with a great deal of interest. Americans, like Brits, don't have patience for negativity, for victimhood narratives, for trashing one's family, for monetary gain, and certainly for hypocrisy.
Monetary gain, trashing your family, victimhood, all these things we've talked about. Victimhood, whining, trashing your family, complaining about, and then trashing them, and then making money off of it. And no one is going to buy what she's selling anymore. Netflix jumped on it. That's why he was looking like a fool when that's why the CEO of Netflix was looking like an idiot, Juanita, when he said, I guess you over there paying Meghan for free. I guess she working for free. She's still hanging on. I don't know what he said, but basically saying that she's working for nothing. Oh, I guess only Netflix. Only Netflix is paying them to do nothing. Spotify cut them their losses and said, we're out. We're out. And they still had to let some people go. Not Netflix. They ain't learned their lesson. Soon and very soon, we're going to hear some announcements. I don't know, but I just feel it because they haven't been able to produce anything. WME has not been able to pull Home Chick up off the ground. It was their job to make her a mega player. She is not a mega player. Meghan is hanging on WME. I don't care. They can keep her and keep her. They probably just holding on for a moment. But I don't believe that they are going to be able to do anything with Meghan. She is not helpable. No, because you ain't nobody telling her. She hear us. She hears these channels and what people are saying about her, but she doesn't care. Obviously, because if she did, would Endgame had to play a part recently? Here we go. I gotta go.
So their popularity in the United States just continues to plunge.
Their popularity just continues to plunge in the United States. Okay, let's hear it again.
Great deal of interest. Americans, like Brits, don't have patience for negativity, for victimhood narratives, for trashing one's family, for monetary gain, and certainly for hypocrisy. So their popularity in the United States.
I can leak it, but you can't leak it. I can put 2 names in a book and leak it in Holland, but you can't do it. They were leaking stories. Don't nobody even know how to leak stories. And wasn't nobody even talking about leaking stories until Meghan came on the scene. I have never, ever heard Harry or William or anyone within his family talk about half the stuff that about leaking and planting stories. That came from Meghan. Meghan is manipulating the masses. She was trying to. What about the Beckhams? They ain't friends with Harry no more. Harry ain't even invited to the wedding of the century. But he's all excited about this award. You're going to have a lot more of these awards. The Beckhams. Meghan blamed his wife and said that she was leaking and planting stories. And who believed her? She's an impulsive liar. And so, How do you manage to piss off everybody? And not even piss off, to alienate yourself to where your popularity has plummeted. It's in the toilet. It is flushed. The Titanic is on the bottom. No, there's no resurrection. There's no rehabilitation. There's no rebranding. There is no redemption week. This is the end. And soon, and very soon, they're gonna have to pack little George, little Archie, and little Lilibet, and get out of Montecito. At least get out of that house and downsize. Now, I don't know when they're gonna have to downsize, but I don't see anybody knocking on the door. Hello, come in. I would like to brand Meghan. I would like to brand her for the next do. She brought this on herself. Meghan brought all this debacleness that she has, her life. It's sad. It's a sad day in Montecito'ville to see Meghan. It is. It is a really sad day. I looked at my husband the other day and I told him just like this. I said, it is over. I said, honey, I said, this is it. I said, what? It's a reality show, Tig, something. It's gone. The spark, the glow. You know how when you're pregnant, you have something called the glow. Her glow is gone. When she got married, she had a glow. But then she opened her mouth and the glow disappeared. Woo! And now she's over there in Montecito pretending to have a happy marriage, pretending to have it going on, pretending everything is going great. Pretend. Don't let them see you sweat, girl.
Just continues to plunge. One's family.
He said continue. Can it get any worse? Come on, guys. It continues to plunge. And it's not easy for us to be like, oh, let's buy her product. Let's give to her charity. Let's help her out. No, you have to redeem yourself, and you are far from it because you're in a place called denial and still think that everything is okay. Oh no, you got court in November from your sister. Oh. For defamation. So guess what? Is she going around? I bet you they can't stand her. I bet you she's annoying. Yep. All she talks about is her problems and her and her sister and the in-laws. That's all she does. And people are sick of hearing it. They don't even want to hear it anymore. I just believe that. I gotta go. I've been in here for 2 hours. Okay. It's okay.
For monetary gain, and certainly for
It
hypocrisy.
got good.
So their popularity in the United States just continues to plunge.
Indeed, it's hard to know where their careers will go as a joint brand. I mean, Meghan may return to act.
See, I don't know where he getting this joint stuff from. Meghan was on the red carpet the other day by herself, and that's what she's trying to let us know, that she's going to be rebranding herself alone, and her husband's going to support her from afar. No, it's going to be whatever she comes out with. Just hold your breath.
She may pursue a career in public life or even politics, and who knows what for Harry. But you just have to wonder, don't you, whether their financial situation could come under pressure at a certain point. Do Harry and Meghan risk going broke?
Well, of course, I don't know intimately what their finances look like, and certainly their initial deals that were signed with some of the streaming networks, et cetera, and what they were paid by the blockbuster Oprah interview put a lot of money in the coffers, in addition to what Harry's made.
Yeah, for some reason I do believe that she has enough money, like Tom Bauer said, to last them about 5 years. But you don't get somewhere and plan for 5 years. You plan forever. So if it's seeping out like that, people start getting like, okay, wait a minute.
Through the publication of his autobiography, Spare. So I don't really, I hope that they have someone responsible controlling their finances, and someone who's better adept at that goal than whoever is advising them on their messaging.
He said, whoever's advising them on their messaging is off. WME is one of those people. And I don't believe that they have the control that they need to. Well, they probably just thinking, well, okay, this Meghan is going to act right and be on her best behavior when she goes outside. No, she's not going to be on her best behavior. She's going to do something to make people look at her and be confused. Like, what is you doing now? Because that book was the latest debacle. That book was the latest failures. That book was the latest missed opportunity for Meghan to at least end the year without any drama. And she couldn't even do that. She managed to put herself back in the spotlight, to bring up names. This is what I wanted to say earlier, and then I'm going to let you go. What sister-in-law would call them racist and wasn't in the room, didn't confront Catherine about the conversation, if Catherine had it, which we know she didn't, but decided the best way for us to know who said it, which I don't believe, which is a lie, was through Obi Scobie's book. And if it wasn't, she didn't come out and denounce it because she wanted us to know. That's important. That's that evil stuff. And so I can't help but to think while she's sitting around plotting these evil deeds, because what sister-in-law would do what she did? But she wants to talk about how Catherine wasn't nice to her. That's that stupid stuff. That's that stupid stuff. Because Catherine opened up her arms and doors and everything to Meghan. And Meghan mistreated the relationship because she was jealous. And she's been so jealous of her that she had to say it in a book recently. And I wonder what the Sussex squad thinks about that. You have to feel like if you're on the Sussex squad and you thought that was okay, then you are a Sussex fan. Stay over there. You know, it's but I gotta go, guys. Hit like, share, and comment. I know I start talking and getting into this conversation really, really good. And I just think that she had the opportunity to become something really great. She ruined it herself. She has nobody else to blame but herself. And then now people just don't even want to see it anymore. And she's a joke. You're being roasted. And then to top that off, everything is going bad. You ain't got no family. You ain't got no friends. You ain't got no job. But, you know, Meghan is thinking, and she's probably going to use those kids. But she's not leaving Montecito, and she's not going back to the UK. That ain't happening. And I do believe if there is a divorce, she's going to ask King Charles for millions. Yep, he married the wrong woman. He married wrong. Harry married wrong. That's what my mom would say. Harry married the wrong woman. He married wrong. When you marry wrong, these are the kind of things that happen in your life. Tragic after tragic after tragic, drama after drama after drama, negative, 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 nasty, nasty, nasty. Kisses. Like, share, and subscribe.